Fanatical is running an awesome summer PC game sale with a lot of historic lows on a lot of PC games. You're gonna want to use the code SUMMER10 that they're advertising on their website to save an additional 10%. Some games are excluded, but the majority of games are eligible, and all of the games that I'm gonna mention in this list are eligible for that 10% off discount. Again, we've got some historic lows, and I decided to mention some games that were a little bit more on the pricier side. If you guys do want, I'll do another video taking a look at some cheaper options. With that being said, let's get right into this. First up, we've got a very recent release with Yakuza Zero, which is 15% off at $16.99. If you use that 10% off discount, you'll end up getting it for $15 and change. So not a super steep discount on Yakuza Zero, but if you guys have been following my channel, you already know that I thought that $19.99 regular price tag was an absolute bargain, so to get it even a little bit cheaper is a steal. Considering the fact this game just released a week ago, getting it for almost 25% off is an absolute win in my book, and Yakuza Zero is a game that's packed with content. Yes, it's a little bit on the zany side, but definitely easier to get into than, say, your typical Japanese RPG. While this is a Japanese game, it's got a very mature story. The main character in Kazuma Kiryu is very likable, and it's just a good game with a lot of content. Moving on from that, we've got Doom, which is 67% off, down to $9.89 with the code. You're gonna end up getting it for just a little under $9, which is a great price for Doom. I believe during the Steam sales, this typically is 50% off for $14.99, so you're getting it considerably cheaper here. And I've said very positive things about Doom. I thought it was one of, if not the best game of 2016, and this game is marvelous on PC. It's not even that hard to run, but it looks and runs great. The game itself is also very, very good. I will agree with the majority of people in saying that the single-player campaign is the standout here, but that single-player campaign is incredibly high quality. It's around 10 to 12 hours long, high-octane moments, it's fast-paced, that visceral Doom gameplay that you know and love. And at this price point, if you at the very least want a game that'll put your PC to good use and really optimize performance, Doom is a game to check out. And again, at this price, a little under $9, I would say it's a steal. Next up, we've also got Alien Isolation, which is $7.99, 80% off. Alternatively, you can get the Alien Isolation Complete Collection. That'll include some downloadable content. That's $9.99. Again, the 10% off discount works here. Alien Isolation is a very good game. It's very atmospheric. Again, very good visuals on this one. Did release back in 2014, so at this point, it's a little bit easier to run. They really nailed the horror elements with this one. And Aliens is a franchise that has had some hit or miss games. I believe it was Alien Colonial Marines that just wasn't very good. This one, I can say, is very good. And a relatively lengthy experience as well, around 10 to 14 hours. Again, $7.99 for the base game. Alternatively, you can get the collection for $9.99. The 10% will stack with both of them. Next up, we've got Grand Theft Auto 5 for $19.79. That's 34% off. If you guys don't know, this game actually had its MSRP dropped recently. It was going for $59.99 for the longest time, but I guess ahead of Red Dead Redemption 2's release, they finally thought, hey, let's give gamers a break. Let's start selling Grand Theft Auto 5 at a little bit of a discount. And that's what we get. And now with the game going on sale, you can get it for $19.79. Now, I do have to mention, if you're buying this game through Fanatical, you are getting it through the Rockstar Social Club app. You are not getting it through Steam, so that is something to keep in mind. But if that doesn't bother you at all, the game is $19.79, and with that 10% off discount code, you are getting it for under $18. That's an awesome deal for GTA 5. Kind of an essential game that I feel every PC gamer needs to go. There's just so much longevity in this game with mods and everything like that, even the online play, which I know not everyone's a fan of, but in terms of content per dollar, it doesn't get much better than GTA 5, and even if you just want to get the game and play through the single player, there's a lot of fun and a lot of content to be had that way through as well, and the game looks very well on PC. The PC version was very well done. Sub $18, I can definitely give it a recommendation. Next up, we've got Okami HD, which is 35% off for $13 with that 10% off discount. You're getting it for a little under $12. Okami is one of the best PlayStation 2 games of all time, and now the game comes back looking better than ever on PC. There is a caveat to it. This game does run at 30 frames per second. Apparently, that was due to something within the in-game engine of Okami. It's not a big deal. Like, I would complain about the game being locked to 30 frames per second if it was priced at more than $20 on release. Considering it was a $20 release, I can't complain all too much. Now that you're getting it for under $12, it's still a fantastic game. Just bear in mind, you're gonna have to get through the fact that it is 30 frames per second. But after that, the game is wonderful. A lot of people will compare it to Zelda. I definitely see the similarities to, say, Zelda Wind Waker, but it's definitely got its own flair. Great puzzles, great gameplay, and a very well-told story. At this price, I would give it a recommendation. Next up, we have a game that I might have been more of a fan of than a lot of other people, and that is DMC Devil May Cry. Yes, the off-brand DMC game that so many people absolutely hated. I think people just hated this game because of how Dante looked, and yes, I am not a big fan of how Dante looks in this game. By the way, on PC, there is a skin that'll make him look like the original Dante, but in the cutscenes, he still looks like this Dante, so it's a little weird. I wouldn't really use the skin because it just breaks the immersion in my opinion, but I thought I would mention that anyway. As far as the game itself, I think this is one of the better Devil May Cry games. I know there are a few of you out there that enjoyed this game like me, and some of you guys might even think this is the best Devil May Cry game. It was developed by Ninja Theory, and Ninja Theory has a track record of incredible games. They did Enslaved Odyssey to the West, Hellblade Sun was Sacrifice, so you know they're gonna do a good job with this game. I really just think people were off-put by the design, but actually when you get into the gameplay, it is a slick action game. And now that it's available for $7.49 with that 10% off discount, you'll get it for $6 and change. That is a great deal on DMC Devil May Cry, and guess what? You do have DMC 5 to look forward to early next year, but that game has a little bit of a stylistic shift as well, and I've seen some complaints that way, but I think that game will be great, and DMC Devil May Cry is a great game as well. Next up, we have a game that's kind of held up in value, and that's Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. It's 40% off down to $17.99. No, it hasn't held up its value like Grand Theft Auto 5, but it's held up its value as well. This released all the way back in January of 2017. $18 for the title, I would say, is pretty good. 10% discount will take it just above $16, which I think is a really good deal for RE7, a Resident Evil game that was a little bit of a shift, really invoked that element of horror. And now with the hype of the Resident Evil franchise being higher than ever with the impending release of RE2 Remake, now's not a bad time to check out Resident Evil 7 Biohazard. Again, very different than the other games, but a very good survival horror game nonetheless, and at this price, I would say it's a pretty good pickup. From one survival horror game to another, we've got The Evil Within 2, which is 60% off for $23.99. 10% off discount will take this to $21 and change. I absolutely adored The Evil Within 2. I think Tango Gameworks did a fantastic job with the game, and this is what a game sequel should be. When you look at the quality of The Evil Within 2 and you compare it to The Evil Within 1, I think The Evil Within 2 is such a better game. It's not even funny. That's why I would say jump right into The Evil Within 2. Yeah, The Evil Within 1 was a good game, but I would say The Evil Within 2 was a great game. It was very well developed, great gameplay, a good story, which I thought the first one was really lacking. Visually, it looks great, and they just updated the game to add a first-person mode as well, so if you want to check that out, that's an option as well. This game's kind of stabilized at that $25 range when it is on sale. Now that you're getting it for $21 and change, I would say it's a very good deal. Probably by the fall, however, I do see it getting a little bit cheaper, so if you can hold off, that might end up paying dividends. Now let's round things out with the third survival horror game. Dying Light: The Following in Enhanced Edition is $19.79 as well. 10% off discount will take it to just under $18, and Dying Light: The Following Enhanced Edition is a fantastic game. Now, the regular Dying Light is usually a little bit cheaper, but this is one case where I would say it is absolutely worth it to pick up this version. A little bit more expensive, but for the content you're getting, for the improvements you're getting, it is absolutely worth it. Would I like to see it a little bit cheaper? Of course. When do I not like to see games cheaper? But this is one I would say is worth it. It's got some great parkour gameplay. It really sets it apart from a lot of other games. Gameplay is solid, and visually, Techland did a wonderful job with this game. It's not incredibly hard to run, but the visuals are very, very good. Runs well, and considering we are going to see the release of Dying Light 2 next year, and that game is shaping up very nicely, now is definitely not a bad time to check out Dying Light: The Following Enhanced Edition. Just under $18 would say that's a very good deal. And lastly, we've got a game that I always like to go to bat for because it's a game that I honestly never thought would come to PC, and that is Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. It's 67% off for $9.89. That 10% off discount will take it to just under $9, and this is a great RPG, an open world RPG with a little bit of challenge to it. Yes, it's a difficult game. Many will compare it to Dark Souls, and I can definitely see the comparisons from a gameplay standpoint. However, this is quite a bit bigger, and if you don't know the story behind this game, it was released back in 2012 on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. It was a very good RPG then. However, it just mainly faltered from a technical standpoint. This PC version completely removes those handcuffs. It runs great, it looks great, it was released at a budget price point, and now you can get it at an even cheaper price. I always complain about bad ports, and it seems like the entire PC gaming community does. Well, when a game comes out like Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen that is an excellent port, it's priced well, it's a good game, you have to support games like this. And again, it's just not a matter of supporting the game, you're getting a lot of enjoyment out of it if you're into quality action RPGs, just under $9 after you use the Summer 10 code. So that is going to conclude this video. This Fanatical sale has a lot of great deals. It's almost as big as a Steam summer sale, and the thing is, the deals are mostly better. The only caveat is you can't utilize Steam refunds in this sense, but if you just want deep discounts, you should definitely take advantage of this sale. All the games I mentioned are great deals, and there's a lot more outside of that, so if you guys want to see another video, maybe looking at games under $5. I'll definitely do that, but that's gonna conclude this video. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comment section down below. Any other requests for future videos, leave that in the comments as well, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. This video is brought to you by the new Humble Monthly. Get Tales of Berseria, Sniper Elite 4, and Staxel for just $12 along with the rest of the bundle that's gonna unlock on the first Friday of September. Alternatively, if you don't want any of those early unlocks, you can get Rise of the Tomb Raider instead as an early unlock ahead of Shadow of the Tomb Raider's release in September. And once again, if you decide to get Rise of the Tomb Raider, the rest of the bundle will unlock on the first Friday of September. Just $12 for all that content, and on top of that, you get access to the Humble Trove and 10% off everything in the Humble store. Check out the link in the description box below.